Trading rules preserve your capital. If you have trading rules where in some situations you shouldn't be in the market, some situations you should step out, step back, get out of the market, right? Some situations if you take more than one trade or two, step back, walk away, right? For over trading and revenge trading. Rules preserve your capital, and let me give a quick glimpse of it, right? So you see here, in my rules, not my whole rule, right? In my rule, it just says I should not be trading 15 minutes before news, right? Due to the market could close manipulation, take down traders, and, you know, make them lose. It's just as simple as news, right? This can help you preserve your capital when there's a high, news week. This does really matter, right? And this you don't gotta care about. I'm not gonna do all of them, right? But this is where you shouldn't even care about. You could read it by yourself, but I'm not gonna read it, right? Just my CRT rules, right? Now, prior to this, let's go to my others. So you see in my rules, it says that both a key level and a correct liquidity purge timing are necessary. If either is missing, do not enter the trade. This helps me preserve my capital. When it's not like that, I should not be entering. Step back. Key levels come for me personally. Key levels come from a 4 hour or a daily chart, and the 4 hour CRT must be purged or display a SMT with a correlated pair. And right over here, you can see another rule that preserves my capital is I will not enter if the opposite side of the CRT is hit first. For example, if I'm bearish and the CRT low gets hit and it makes the setup a bullish setup rather than a bearish setup, when I'm bearish, my box is bearish, I will not enter and I'll wait till until the next session. If the opposite side against your bias is hit, right? Do not enter. Only the one if I have a CRT and I'm bearish, the CRT high should be getting hit first. Then that gives me a bearish bias, right? It goes my bearish setup. It gives me more confidence in my setup rather than it hitting the low first. They making a bullish setup, right? This happened 2 days ago. If I would have taken that trade, I would have been in a loss. How would have been a loss? Because opposite side of the market, CRT got hit first. Would have made my setup a bullish setup when I was bearish during that time, and I would have been a loss. It would have been a 1% loss, right? -1 RR, right? That's how you avoid. That's how you preserve your capital by adding rules to your trading, right? And my new rule, right? And this is just a risk management rule. You know, you could read that by yourself. Which one's more important? This one is just emotional control type, right? And this right over here, I want to take one trade position, even if it's a regular trade, take control position because over trading and revenge trading is what we don't want, right? That's how it helps me preserve my capital. That's what I said. You gotta be perfect. You gotta enter the right position. As I said in my latest video, right? As I said right over here, do not trace past 12 p.m. New York session. Why? That's during. Oh, my thing just bugged. It says right here, do not trade past 12 p.m. New York session, right? Why? That's lunch and people are taking lunch, right? And that makes them after 12 p.m. There's no kill zone for Forex, right? It's from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? Which is basically the lunchtime, right? And you can see it over here. My trading rule for my auto block, right? For my entry, once all conditions are met, the timing of the pairs key levels, then I scale down to 15 minutes or 5 minutes depending on the CRT time frame, and look for an old high or old low to be stabbing to. Enter at the 1 minute. Enter once the one model one is created, right? If the stab of the high happens before all the conditions are met, do not enter the trade. Ensure is a limited high or low prior to hitting the CRT high. If the CRT does not have a high or low at the end, wait for another high to get high or low to get purged. Anything before that purge is irrelevant, right? Why did I add that rule? So you can see my latest video. The purge was not. There was no high. When the high got swept, there was literally no high. Just some random bearish candle, right? So that right there, what did that do? I lost, right? So how could have I kept how could I have kept my money from there and actually made money on that? By following this rule right over here, right? By waiting for a purge of liquidity prior to it meeting all my conditions, right? Having my key levels, all of my, conditions, right? Very simple. This is how you preserve capital by having trading rules.